Welcome everyone to Neverwinter on PC. My name is Rainer, and in today's video I want to release a new version of the Neverwinter Character Builder Plus, version 0.13.5. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you'd like to see more information about Neverwinter, hit the subscribe button. So you already saw it probably in the thumbnail, but as always, if I make a video about a Character Builder Plus release, I have a new feature or a big change to a feature that I want to address. And in today's release, and in this release, I have a couple of things actually that I want to talk a bit about. So let's go through the change tracker as usual. We still have a couple to-dos here that I haven't picked up yet. Cunning Hunter, I think this is equip power. Okay, not gonna look into that, but yeah, tooltip fixed. Enemy type boons. Oh yeah. So we had a couple of enemy type boons, and I saw that a couple people were abusing this. So these seem to just always work, and now they only work if you have the correct enemy type selected. And of course, you can still wait here. You can still select them all, so you can have a boss, beast, child hunt, cultist, demon, devil, dinosaur, dragon, fey, golem, fiend, giant, goblin, undead, quantity, boss. But yeah, you're just kidding yourself. So yeah, now only the types apply. So these bonuses only apply if the enemy type is correct. That was a bug. So we have some new rings. Scaleblight Summit has released 6 new rings, I think. Fizzy Brew added here. So, okay, the tooltip is wrong. Nice. I see I need to up... Yeah, I need to fix this tooltip. Okay, I will do that. Then, the first of the things that I want to talk about. Actually, one of the minor things, but it's also a pretty nice one. A lot of people have been asking me, I'm at this point in my build, what is better for me, adding 5% damage or adding 5% power? This will help. So we have here the stat analyzer, and actually in the past, before the combat rework, we already had this. Right now I don't have a build loaded, so let's load a build, just something. Doesn't matter exactly what. We have a build loaded, and here you can see your stats from your builds, at least the relevant ones for the stat analyzer. You see the damage modifier that the stats give that are on this line. Critical strength, critical severity have 1 modifier because they're combined, and damage bonuses here down here is also for damage. Then you see this expressed in a damage percentage. So this is your damage increase. And here you can see exactly how much damage you add if you would add 1%. Of course, this cannot go over the 90%. So if you already have 90% like here, adding 1% crit severity will not gain you any damage. Also here for power, for example, 98.3, adding 1%, it will only increase your power by 0.7. So this is not the total gain that you would get from 1%. And here also for damage bonus, you can see, well, this one, even if we're at 67.5%, this one at this point is the best one to choose. Actually, critical severity is critical strike is a pretty good normal stat here. Well, mostly because critical severity is 90%, but okay. So yeah, I get questions about this all the time. So I made this. This is not complete. I want to add also custom values. So adding ratings or removing a certain amount of ratings and adding percentages. Extra bars here where you can see increases for custom values. I also want to add some average damage values or something here. I need to see exactly. At the EHP analyzer, I have already something down here. It's also not finished yet, but okay. I'm gonna improve upon this, but this is already a nice starting point for this. And if you click here, you actually go to Jane's site, nwhub.com, where she made basically this calculator, but there you can fill in custom values. And what you sometimes will see is if you fill in this value, you will get a different percentage here, but that is because this value is not the final value. This is the representation of this value. So if you fill in this value and you see 1%, that's a different number. That's because this is actually 98.31147.5, something like that. Yeah, and that is something you cannot do with an external calculator. That's only something you can do if you have your complete build somewhere. I did the same also for healing. So for healing, you also have some values here. You can see power has an influence on healing, critical strike, critical severity. Critical severity effectiveness is halved. So this is why is this? This is of course going over cap because I do divide by 2. That's tricky. Okay, I need to look into this. This is I'll do that in a later version. Because yeah, this is not true of course. If you have 90%, it cannot go over. But yeah, the severity is only working for half. I need to look how to fix that, but okay. And then down here you see outgoing healing and heal bonus. 2 different stats that both are basically outgoing healing, but the outgoing healing percentage is kept at 90% and heal bonus is the stuff that goes over 90%. So some stats make it that you get an outgoing healing higher than 90%. So yeah, adding 1% is typically the same, except if your outgoing healing is 90%, then this one is 0 and this one is still not 0. EHP we already had, so that was here, and then we have damage and healing calculators, which also work. A lot of very useful stuff here for testing and for analyzing your build. So that is that. Damage analyzer, healing analyzer. Make use of it. It will help decrease the amount of questions that I get. I hope people will look at it. Then, another interesting feature, and actually the one that I was working on the most for this version, and that's actually the reason I made this video mostly, and that's a DevTracker. I got an API from Yoshi from Neverwinter on uncensored.com. The website he made a long time ago that is not very active at the moment, but he does have an API, and I don't know if he's really working actively on it, but the API works. So here you can track developer messages, and I'll show you how. You can set this to active, and then every 5 minutes it will load the newest messages. Here you can see it loaded a couple of messages because I made it active. And if you click on these threads, you can see what developer messages are in these forum threads. You can see here are actually 2 messages from Persumer. But this only goes back to the 24th of February. So that's not that long. So if you want, you can click here on load more, and then you will load more back into the past. There's a slight delay here, so you cannot spam the server too much. In the future, I want to add caching for these messages so that, well, you don't have to load everything every time, because that's a bit annoying. And the messages on the forums, they don't really change. So you don't need to reload them every time. But let me load a bit and then I'll be back. Alright, I loaded back until somewhere halfway 2020. You can see there's a lot of messages in here, and maybe you're only interested in a certain topic. And if you are, you would like to search these messages, of course, and that's where this filter is for. So if you would want to have messages about, I don't know if they shortcut it to VOS. Oh, they do. They have messages concerning VOS, but these are not release messages. I guess you can also have Vault of Stars. Yeah, here you have official messages. Anyway, as you can see all the messages that contain information about Vault of Stars now here. And you can also have general things like thread. You can search for developers here, and then you can see all messages where this developer has something to say. I don't know. You can search for anything, and it's super fast. And then, of course, the last thing that you can do is you can click on a message. Let me see. Let's take something. Launch week, BART, bugs. Here, for example, this Joe of the North launch week BART bugs. You can click actually on this button, and then you will go to this forum thread. Let me show you. So here it loaded Xbox Jewel of the North launch week BART bugs, and here's the message that was shown in this tracker. So really convenient to basically check and read back what kind of official information has been released in the past on the forum, because that's the best we got, I guess, in terms of official notes. They typically tend to do that on the forums, and this will help. As I said, in the future, I will make it so that these messages are cached, so you don't have to load them every time, because that takes time. But yeah, you can see in about 60 seconds, this will actually load, and it will only load at the newer messages that are before this. I don't know if there are, but yeah, every 5 minutes it will check if there's new messages. Probably not, but let's wait a bit. So here, the last 5 seconds. 1. And nothing new, so nothing happened. Alright, let's set this to inactive again, and then we go to the next item. Let's close this as well. I improved the Crown of Caldegon face parser. I noticed in my own runs that it was only going until phase 3. I think they renamed some stuff, so I didn't see it. But if we load... Oh, 1 second. So if we load some data here now, for example, this, a couple days ago, this only goes to phase 2, but I think that's because there's another one behind it. Was it 21st, right? I think so. Loading. Yeah, now it goes to 4. So now you can see there's phase 3 and then a phase 4. So here in phase 3 we did 14 million damage against the phylactery, and then you have phase 4 where we did 827 million damage. So this is nice to split up the phases, of course, to see how much actually the dragon has. How much HP, and it's about 725 million, 715, somewhere in that order of magnitude. Look at this one, 718 here. Why is that both here? Oh wait, phase 4. 713. Might be 700 million also. Oh, phase 4 only. Here it is 718. So it's relatively consistent between 715 and 720 million, somewhere in that order of magnitude. That's the amount of HP that they have in phase 4. So yeah, this is gonna help a lot. I don't think it's 100% perfect just yet. But that is because it seems that in phase 3, some things sometimes can still hurt the dragon. As you can see here, most things are 0. So the dragon is immune to damage at this point. But sometimes some things still do a tiny bit of damage. And that messes up my my parser as it is right now. Anyway, that about this. So make use of it. I guess a lot of people are making use of this, so that's fantastic. You can also, by the way, see now your deaths in per phase, so you can see where your problems were per run. And then the last one, a minor one that I actually did just now. I noticed if I go to NW Hub, this mod in all the versions actually always went to mod 20, I think. The first one, the first based on the builds that were loaded. And now I made it so that you always pick the newest mod here. So yeah, that's gonna help getting not confused with your builds. Because the difference between mod 20 and 22 is huge. And you want to have builds from the latest mod. Anyway, that was actually all that I wanted to say. As again, there's still a couple of to-dos here that I will pick up at some point when I get the time for it. But yeah, I'm doing what I can. Anyway, if you have any remarks on this video or any suggestions on what to investigate next, feel free to leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.